Imagine being trapped in a maze of thoughts, where every hallway leads to 1,000 possibilities, and every door you open only adds to the burden of your mind. This is the world of overthinking, a world where we are trapped in an endless web of doubt and uncertainty. But what if I told you that there is a key to escape? Those keys are rooted in the philosophy of Stoicism, which teaches us about the power of accepting what we cannot control while striving to improve what we can. Today, we'll dive into 10 signs that you may be trapped in the maze of overthinking and how Stoicism can help you find your way out. We'll explore how our minds, constantly looking for problems to solve, can sometimes be our own worst enemy. However, through inspiring stories and the teachings of Stoicism, we will discover that in peace of mind there is power, and in acceptance there is freedom. Let's embark on this journey together, explore the labyrinths of our minds, and together find the way out to serenity and clarity. Are you ready to break free from the shackles of overthinking? Let's get started. 1. You have stressful daydreams. Do you ever feel the pressure of an uncertain future? For some of us, daydreams about the future are not a solace, but a stressful nightmare. Dark thoughts fill the mind, crawling around every corner with endless worry. It's not so much fantasizing about success or happiness, but the fear of all the bad things that could happen. At such times, we no longer see the future as a bright path, but rather as a battlefield to be conquered. Every step feels like an oppressive pressure, binding us in the shackles of uncertainty. How can we possibly live peacefully when our minds are filled with fear and anxiety? Yet within that darkness lies the ancient wisdom of Stoic philosophy that teaches us to accept what we cannot change. We must learn to free ourselves from the shackles of thoughts that poison our souls. Let us find serenity in the face of uncertainty and light our way with the fire of courage. For only by accepting that not everything we fear will happen can we find true peace. 2. You feel vulnerable. In a world full of uncertainty, we often feel vulnerable. However, it is in that uncertainty that we find true strength. Stoic figures, such as Marcus Aurelius, taught that courage is not the absence of fear, but rather the ability to act despite feeling vulnerable. Feeling vulnerable is a signal that we are alive, that we feel the world fully. It is a call to make peace with uncertainty, to accept that we cannot always control everything. In every moment of vulnerability, we have the opportunity to build resilience and depth of character. As Seneca said, "When we do not know where we are going, do not forget where we came from." Our awakening comes from the lowest experience. So let's face vulnerability with a resilient attitude. Let it be a milestone for our personal growth, because in uncertainty, we find courage. In vulnerability, we find strength. Let us forge ahead, even in the darkness, for it is there that we find light. 3. You can't make a decision. Not being able to make a decision is not just confusion, but a prison of overwhelming choices. In the realm of a mind overloaded with possibilities, we are often trapped in endless indecision. As Marcus Aurelius put it, difficulty in choosing signifies uncertainty in the heart. When we feel trapped in an endless maze of thoughts, we forget the power that lies in decisiveness. Decisions are not the result of fate, but rather an act of courage. Let us reflect deeply on the values we hold dear, and from there step out with conviction. In decisiveness, we find freedom, and in decision, we find the power to shape our own destiny. Be like a solid rock amidst the waves, firm in resolve and unwavering in decision. 4. You can't concentrate. When our minds are too busy swirling around problems, focus becomes elusive. Thoughts are fragmented, and every step feels like walking through a field of porcupines with no definite direction. However, Amidst this chaos, there is power hidden in peace of mind. As the ancient Stoic thinkers taught, when we learn to control our thoughts, we find true power. When we allow worry and anxiety to flood our minds, we lose control of our lives. So, let's stop this destructive cycle of overthinking. Let's learn to find calm in the silence and sharp focus in the chaos. Because only by finding peace within ourselves can we find peace in the outside world. Make every second count by uniting our minds and finding strength in tranquility. Let's be the masters of our minds together, not be swept away by its currents. 5. You are always anxious. When the soul is filled with excessive worry, it closes the door to happiness and peace. So said Stoicism, which taught that we must learn to separate ourselves from our thoughts, controlling what we can and cannot control. However, anxiety often fills the space of our hearts and minds, framing everything in a dark shadow. It's like a cloudy overcast that covers the sun, making it difficult for us to see a way out. But it is in that darkness that we find true strength, the ability to find calm amidst the storm. Stoicism teaches us not to fear anxiety, but to understand it and overcome fear with wisdom and courage. So, when anxiety fills your mind, remember the wise message of the Stoics: control what you can control and let everything else flow. 6. Your bad mood just won't go away. Facing a gloomy day without a ray of hope is the toughest test in life's journey. A dark mood, when it takes over your mind and heart, feels like a weight that can't be lifted. But in fact, it is in adversity that true character is formed. As the wise words of the Stoic thinkers put it, adversity is the exercise of a strong soul. When we are trapped in a negative spiral, we are trained to become stronger, more resilient, and wiser. And so, in the midst of that sea of darkness, we must seek the light. We have to find out what causes that constant bad mood to stick to us. With deep introspection, we can identify the root of the darkness. We learn that bad moods won't last forever if we dare to face them and fight for the brightness behind them. So, face the gloomy days with courage, find the strength within you, and remember that every challenge is an opportunity to grow. With Stoicism, we can turn adversity into a stepping stone to a more meaningful life. 7. You avoid the things you like. In life, we often encounter moments where we feel weighed down by excessive thoughts. One clear sign is when we start avoiding things that should bring us happiness. Ironically, in an attempt to cope with the problem, we instead choose to stay away from the pleasures that we should be enjoying. It is a sad fact that overthinking can turn our beloved hobbies and activities into a heavy burden. However, it is time to remember the teachings of Stoicism. As its luminaries say, we must learn to accept what we cannot change and direct our focus on the things we can control. By developing peace of mind and assertiveness in the face of overthinking, we can again find joy in the things we love. Don't let overthinking rule our lives, but take control and enjoy every moment with full presence. 8. You reinterpret old memories. In the course of life, we are often tempted to reinterpret old memories with great emotion. However, interestingly, Stoicism teaches us to look at the past wisely without being entangled by excessive emotions. Through this perspective, we understand that memories do not always have to be reinterpreted as something negative. Instead, they are part of the journey towards maturity and wisdom. A Stoic recognizes that we cannot change the past, but we have full control over how we respond to it in the present. By accepting and learning from those memories, we can grow and develop as stronger individuals. So, let us engage wisely with our memories, letting them be stepping stones to greater wisdom. 9. You seek deeper meaning. In life, we often feel compelled to seek a deeper meaning behind every event. Too often, however, we forget that life itself is an adventure filled with mystery and wonder. Digging too deep in search of meaning can leave us trapped in an endless maze of thoughts, ignoring the simple beauty around us. A Stoic figure might remind us that true happiness is not always found in a deep search for meaning, but in simplicity and acceptance of reality. By accepting that not everything has deep meaning or significance, we can find peace in the way things are. So, when you feel tempted to constantly search for a deeper meaning in everything, try to appreciate the small and simple moments that are present around you. Sometimes, true happiness can be found in presence and acceptance, not in endless searching. 10. You've been through this before. If you feel a wave of overthinking sweeping through your mind, remember, you are not alone. It is a proven fact that overthinking tendencies can become a repetitive mindset. In an age filled with pressure and uncertainty, we often find ourselves trapped in a prolonged cycle of thinking, causing uncontrollable stress and anxiety. However, as the Stoics teach, we have control over our reactions to these thoughts. We can train ourselves to recognize harmful thought patterns and break the cycle. By developing self-awareness and emotion management skills, we can move forward with firm resolve, despite the distractions of negative thoughts. Let us together explore our inner strength and accept life's challenges with our heads held high, ready to face whatever comes our way with a calm and thoughtful attitude. In the chaos of overthinking, let's find calm and strength in the teachings of Stoicism. Let's explore the labyrinth of our minds together and find the way out to clarity. How do you deal with the challenge of overthinking? Do you feel inspired by the teachings of Stoicism? Tell us about your experience in the comment section. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video so that more people can find peace in their minds. Thank you, and see you in the next content.